Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Tarun. I will be the SAA for today's meeting. I welcome you all to the 729th meeting of Medley Toastmasters Club. Before starting the meeting, I would like to mention 3 ground rules which we follow in a Toastmaster meeting. Please turn off your mobile phones or put them on silent mode. As Toastmasters, we don't talk about sex, religion and politics, so please refrain from discussing these topics. Please do not cross talk. Be attentive throughout the meeting and support the speakers with your warm smiles and claps. Let's have a great meeting.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you all doing?
Very good.
Okay. Are you ready for another exciting meeting?
Yes.
The sound of this gavel, I declare the meeting number 729 open. To start with, I would like to recognize the dignitaries here. DTM Sundararaman sir, past 2 times president for Medley Toastmasters Club. Thanks for joining us. DTM Thomas, past PR manager for District 82. Thank you sir, thanks for joining us. Can we have a guest introduction? Smriti, would you like to come and introduce here? This is the camera, it's recording the meeting.
So hi, I'm Smriti. Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm doing my BTech in engineering. So I'm very excited to join. I wanted to join because I wanted to improve my communication skills, and I'm very bad at listening, so I want to improve on that. And I just hope that I speak confidently from now on.
Thank you, thanks for joining us. How did you come to know about
My cousin used to
okay,
come,
cousin
yeah.
used to go. Okay, fine, yeah. So it's a great environment. We have a lot of people from different walks of the life. So you will learn a lot, and also you will try to learn about listening a lot. So thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Ma'am, could you come and introduce yourself? Thanks for joining us.
Hi all, good evening. This is my 3rd week of the Toastmaster week. I really feel good because for the past 2 weeks I've been taking out new things from here. And today also I expect to take new from topic I see in the WhatsApp I got. Thank you.
So where do you stay, ma'am?
Indra.
Indiranagar. So it's very close to you. So would you like becoming a member soon?
I hope so.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Right. Could you come and introduce? Is it okay? So much for joining us.
Good afternoon to all, and good afternoon, and I am attending this meeting for the 2nd time, and first time there was a very new experience for me, and as well as a very good atmosphere here. And as my name is B. Sri Anand, I am studying BA English Literature final year in Patrician College of Art and Science in Gandhinagar, Adyar, Chennai. Thank you.
We also DTM with us joining us. So thank you. So thanks for joining us today, sir. Thank you so much. Bala sir, would you like to come and speak a few words?
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I all right?
No.
Still fine. Yeah. Being mentally close, I thought I should be physically close. Okay. So the point is, I'm it doesn't look like it's a 4th week. Actually, I thought I wouldn't be invited. Not that I'm taking liberty with you, but I think the whole place, my behavior shows that it's very friendly because I become very sort of complacent, if I can use that word, with the environment. So I think it's a medium where you express freely, you encourage each other, you motivate each other, give your feedback. Very rarely do you come across such sessions which looks at development of others besides self-development. I love you for it. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, we just started the meeting. We have a guest introduction. So would you like to come and introduce yourself?
Yes. Balakrishnan.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. Good afternoon. This is Balakrishnan. Actually, I am from Thiruvanmiyur. Actually, I work in a company called Siemens Gamesa. the company is a manufacturer of wind turbines, windmill manufacturer, and the company sells the windmills to the customers, and it's getting erected at the wind farm sites. So the windmills cannot be erected everywhere, only the potential sites. We will identify the potential sites where we can erect the wind farms. So currently most of the projects are happening in Karnataka. And I finished my BE in Mechanical Engineering in PhD at Coimbatore. I passed out in 2004, and through campus recruitment I joined a company called Vestas. I started my career as a graduate trainee in Vestas. After working 3.5 years as an engineer in Vestas, I got an opportunity to pursue my masters in IIT Madras. I did my Master of Science by Research in IIT Madras. Then after my masters I joined by Vestas. Now currently working in Siemens Gamesa as head of supply chain management. Thank you.
Thanks for the detailed introduction. Where do you stay, sir?
In Toronto.
Okay, sir. So how did you come to know about
Actually, in Adaya Times, I
Okay.
able to see.
Okay, good.
Actually, I was looking for some sort of institute where I can participate
Sure.
and contribute. So,
Okay. Thank you. You will have a good time. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Okay. Do you have any other guests here? I don't think so. Okay, yeah. Okay, friends, I would like to start with two familiar topics, but it is good to reiterate and then recall about those topics. So one is, okay, I will start the story. You would have heard it, but still. Sunday morning, we had a rough week. It was very tough. We had a lot of long hours, late nights and everything. But you want to relax and have some time for your own. So you are in a morning restaurant, alone yourself, you want to spend some alone time. Suddenly there is a noise in the door. Two kids are running inside, and they are running around this restaurant, making a lot of noise, pushing each other, pushing their chair down. So you are not happy. You are looking at their father. The father understands what you are thinking about. He comes and tells you that we had a funeral of the kid's mother yesterday night. This is after a long time I'm seeing them running and happily running around and roaming around. So could you please adjust for a few minutes for this morning time? So that's when your perspective changes. So you are thinking about a lot in a different way before talking to the father, but suddenly you hear about this and totally your reaction and response changes. So this is about how do you put yourself into the other's shoes. See, there is always a possibility of having this your own dialogue within you, what you think about it, and put yourself in the other's shoe and what you would think about in their shoes. Then you react and respond to it, to the situation, whatever happening on the day-to-day life. So it helps a lot to us and also the other party. So always putting yourself in other shoes helps. The second one is that we are again a familiar topic. We all have our own clock. So in Toastmasters, I see that today in Medley, there are a lot of new members coming in, guests coming in. So it's not necessary that we need to compare ourselves with others and what they are doing and what we are doing and then rate ourselves or think about comparing different people. We always have our own clock. You closely work with your own mentor, chart out your own path. You take your own path, you follow your own clock, it will always help. So hope this helps. To take the meeting forward today, we have the TMoD, Mr. Hemant. Toastmaster Hemant is a research scholar. We have a lot of doctors in our Medley club. He is the doctor of the making. He is in IIT Madras doing research, and he is an enthusiastic Toastmaster. And over to Toastmaster Hemant. Thank you very much.
Greetings, Toastmasters and dear guest. How are you? Are you doing fine?
Fine.
Thanks. Today's theme is Be Like Water. Today's theme is Be Like Water. Guest and dear Toastmasters, what do you think about this speech? About this topic? Theme?
Water is important in everyday's life.
Adapt changes.
So flexible.
You flow.
One by one. Yeah.
Water is so flexible.
Yeah, water is so flexible.
You have to adapt to change.
Adapt to change. Why you are thinking about adapt to change? Water changes itself.
Changes is
Can adapt according to the vessel.
Yeah. Any other, sir? Yeah.
Water is neither created nor destroyed, it's a cycle throughout.
Yeah. It's like our life which keep going.
Transparent.
Transparent,
It's
yeah.
it's a catalyst. It doesn't change. It's a catalyst of change, but it doesn't change.
Yeah. And it helps in growth also at that time. And any other?
In this field, you lost me. I mean, like water, it accommodates everything. Like it takes the change of the form of whatever where it belongs to.
But the important
Very
thing
flexible,
is,
yeah.
okay, we know that what is water, but we also understand how we can accumulate its knowledge and put that knowledge inside our life. If we know that water is transparent, then how can we be transparent, be honest? That's the theme of this meaning. That's the meaning of all this theme. There are so many other properties of water which is relevant and which can help us in developing ourselves and developing our communication skills and personality. For example, earlier we worship gods, and gods are mainly water, sun, and fire, these things. So why we forget those things? Means why we are not looking at water or some heat as we earlier do. We can get lot of messages from it. So we can get lot of essence from it. That's why I put this theme, be like water. Today's topic for the guest, I would like to introduce how our meeting is divided. Our first part of the meeting is prepared speech, where the prepared Toastmasters will come to stage and give their relevant speeches for 5 to 7 minutes. There are today 3 Toastmasters who will give their speeches, and after that their prepared speeches for 5 to 7 minutes comes the table topic. And in table topic, both the Toastmasters or which are the club members and both guests can come for the stage and give their speech for 2 and 2.5 minutes. After that, this table topic, we have evaluation part. Evaluation part begins at the starting of meeting itself. Today, for evaluation, we have my good friend Rajesh Sahoo, and this evaluation is in 3 parts. Like he has his tag role player, tag team, which will conduct all the sessions, like Grammarian, counter, and Grammarian, counter, and timer rules. So today's general evaluator is Rajesh Sahoo, whose Facebook page says that time and tide wait for none. Time and tide wait for none. And this is very relevant to our today's theme, be like water. He is a CA by profession and in Star Disney. He is loving husband and wonderful father. He is very good and he is my best friend here, from whom I just want one thing, the subscription of Disney Plus. I want you to evaluate today. Please come to the meeting. Like you evaluate the finance of your company. What do you think about the quality of water that inspires you?
Yeah. Thank you, TMoD. The quality of water, if water is stagnant, it is like calm and composed. If it flows, it has speed. So it is flexible everywhere. So it is calm, it has speed, it can take any shape, it is life saving. So water is life. So it cannot be described in just 1 2 sentences.
Yeah, you should be like water.
Thank you. I
Yes.
try to be like that.
Be dynamic.
Yes. Yeah. So, thank you. TMoD. After a long time, I am doing this role, so please excuse me if I do some mistakes, etc. Good afternoon, Toastmaster.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am the GE of this meeting. GE means General Evaluator. So I am the moderator of the evaluation session of this meeting. Plus, I do an X-ray of the whole meeting, the proceedings of the meeting, starting from the SAA, introducing the SAA, starting the meeting, till the end, where presiding officer puts the golden gavel. So during the meeting, I'll take notes on everything that happens and that does not happen. I'll evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look for good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, and enthusiasm. At the end of the meeting, I'll give my report. Prior to my report, I have two teams. One is quantitative team, one is qualitative team. So the quantitative team consists of tag team, which is timer, accounter, and grammarian. And the qualitative team consists of the evaluators, who will evaluate the prepared speeches, and that has already been discussed by our TMoD. Now, I want to introduce the tag team. So today's timer is a person who is an HOD in the Department of Physiology at Satyabhaman Dental College. She is a passionate photographer. She loves to watch comedy movies and reading detective novels. She has recently joined Toastmaster, maybe less than a year, but she has worked a long way in this journey. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster. Please introduce your role.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good afternoon.
As a timer, it is my responsibility to note the timing of each segment of our meeting, and so that we will run the meeting on time. To help me with this, I have 3 color cards. That is green, yellow, and red. When the target time is reached, I will show first green card, then yellow card, and at end I will show the red card. Then I will be keeping on showing the red card, okay, till you finish the meeting, and I will submit my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Timer Anuradha, for briefing your role. Now, I would like to call upon the accounter, who is a homemaker. She loves music and she loves to watch television. She has joined Toastmaster to improve her communication skills and listen to versatile speakers. She believes happiness is your attitude. Please put your hands together to welcome accountant Kausalya.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today I will be performing the accounter role. When I told my family that I will perform the accounter role, they were like, it's easy for you, you're finding fault whatever we say at home. So there also you're going to do that. But the purpose of the accounter is to find overused words or filler words and filler sounds. For example, and, but, so, etc. I will track them and note it and report it to you.
Thank you, Accountant Kausalya, for breaking your rules. Now, I would like to call upon the grammarian. She is an MBA graduate who has worked in HR and IT sector previously. She was a Toastmaster in Muscat for 8 years, where she mentored many members, including Gavel Club members. She is co-founder of
Express and Talk Academy. Please put your hands together to welcome Grammarian Provincia, Ravina Shah. Welcome.
Thank you for the kind introduction. To be a good public speaker, one of the criteria is to have a good command over the language, and that should be in the form of improving our vocabulary, adding to our vocabulary, and of course to have a strong grammar in any language. But here, English being the medium, it is very important that our grammar is good, and plus we also have enough words to keep the flow. So as a grammarian today, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings or thoughts. So as a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. Today, the Toastmaster of the day has used the theme of be like water. So basically being like water is to just go with the flow, to just absorb the situation that you are in. So keeping that in mind, today's word is assimilate. This is the one, assimilate. Assimilate. And the word assimilate has three parts. One is to take into mind and thoroughly understand. Example, we need to assimilate new concepts irrespective of our age. The second meaning is to take in and utilize as nourishment into the system. Example is the body assimilates digested food. Third is to absorb into the cultural tradition of a cultural group. Example, we Indians are so adaptable that we can assimilate to the culture of any country that we settle in for a living. So over to the TMoD. I hope you all use assimilate as many times as possible, but effectively and in the right way. Thank you so much.
So you had an introduction of the quantitative team. So I will be introducing the qualitative team in the latter part of the meeting, which is the evaluation session. Now over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Ji. So, I will call the first speaker. I will call the evaluator of the first speaker, DTM Guru, to read the speech objective of first speech.
Hello, good afternoon. The speaker is delivering his speech with an objective of writing a speech with a purpose. His project purpose is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, our first speaker is TM Suhail. He is giving a speech from Pathway Dynamic Leadership Level 1 Project 2 Writing the Speech with Purpose. His title of his speech is Magic is in You, and his famous quote is what we think we become. It's looking like our theme only. And please join me in welcoming TM Suhail. TM Suhail, melodize this stage with your magic.
In 1940s, in the field of athletics, there was a record held by the Swedish runner Gunter Haig. The record of running a mile in 4 minutes and 1.4 seconds. This record was held for a long time, and it was believed, and many experts, many doctors and many athletes believe that this 4-minute barrier can't be broken. The 4-minute barrier is no human can run a mile in less than 4 minutes. In fact, it was believed that no human can run a mile in less than 4 minutes without causing significant harm to the body. He achieved, Hunter Gay achieved this feat in 1945, but records are meant to be broken. In 1954, Roger Bannister, he did which was told impossible. He ran a mile in 3 minutes and 59.47 seconds. He did which was mentioned nobody could do. His body have done which was told nobody could do. John Landy, another accomplished athlete and rival to Roger Bannister, had a best record of 4 minutes and 2 seconds, and he tried running a mile in 4 minutes and 1.4 seconds 3 times before, and he told that a 4-minute barrier is like a wall, it can't be broken. But just after 66 days, Roger Bannister broke the record. He was able to run a mile in 3 minutes and 57.4 seconds. Not only that, by 1957, 16 other athletes were able to run a mile in less than 4 minutes. What is the reason for it? Did the athletes got stronger? Or any new technologies invented in athlete shoes? Or the training program got enhanced? It is the mental barrier of the athletes which stopped them from achieving the feat. It's the self-limiting belief of the athletes which stopped them from breaking the 4-minute barrier. In fact, Roger Bannister, who broke the record for the first time, was a doctor by profession. He mentioned that it is illogical that it is possible to run a mile in more than 4 minutes, but not less than 4 minutes. He told it is a physiological barrier. It is not a physiological barrier, it's a mental barrier. The athletes had this mental barrier which took long time in achieving the 4-minute, it's a mental barrier which took long time in achieving the feat. Like these athletes, even I had a mental barrier. Last year I was having a tough time in my work. I was using my mind in thinking of all the possibilities which will go wrong. In return, I was having all the challenges, all the issues in my work and all the escalations, the word which one of the IT people want to hear. I don't know what I was supposed to do because I was doing all the work correctly, but it ended up an issue. I was depressed and this issue in my professional life carried to my personal life as well. I was thinking what went wrong. I'm doing my effort, but things are going wrong. Then I got introduced to books like Secret, Magic of Thinking Big and Power of Subconscious Mind, which helped me a lot in understanding the power of mindset and the power of positive belief. Instead of focusing on failure, I focused on success. Instead of focusing on problems, I focused on solutions. Instead of focusing on sadness, I focused on happiness. In return, all the problem vanished. Not only that, I visualized getting an award in office, though I'm having a lot of issues in work. In 2 months, I got an email that I have been awarded a quarterly award for the work which I have done. I got shocked. I got flabbergasted. Not because I got an award. Getting an award is not a big thing. But I just created what I wanted. I just used my mind in attracting what I wanted. That's the time I realized I'm the reason for creating all the issues, and I'm the reason for attracting all the positive things in my work. We humans have mental barrier in our mind. We humans use our precious thing, our mind, in attracting all the negative things instead of using it in attracting all the positive things. Once I realized it, I was very happy and confident that I'm going to have a confidence and I can control all the situations in my life. I understood one of the biggest secrets of attraction and how it works. But a monkey human mind, once after I got one more problem, the older version of myself came into picture. That's the moment I have realized I can't control these situations, but I can control my mindset and the way I respond to the problem. It's not the challenge that matters, the way we respond to the challenge that is matters. A man lost his horse. Instead of worrying, he believed that his horse will return back. The horse which he lost the next day came back with 4 other female horses. That is how our belief system works. Of course, it is my imaginative story. The moment I got the quarterly award in my office, I believed that the magic was with me. When Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mental barrier, the magic was with him, and the magic is in you. Thank you.
Next, I will call the second evaluator. But before, TM Suhail, can you come and join? You just ran away. So, what quality of water inspires you most and why?
What quality of water inspires you?
What are you most and why?
The quality of water is it satisfies our thirst, and after playing a long day cricket in the ground, we go nuts for looking at the water. It satisfies our thirst and it boosts our energy. So that quality I like the most.
So how you can correlate that thirst in your life?
Okay, so as I was mentioning in my story, you should be having the thirst in breaking all the mental barrier and achieving the feat. It's in our mind, not it's not our physiological barrier, it's our mental barrier. We should have the thirst in achieving all the challenges and coming up in the life.
Okay, thank you. Next, I am calling the evaluator of second speaker, Toastmaster Rangarajan.
Toastmaster Prasanna is going to give a speech from Dynamic Leadership Level 3 Elective using descriptive language. The speech is from 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose statement reads, is for the member to practice writing a speech with an emphasis on adding language to increase interest and impact. Waiting to hear.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So, the speech title of Prasanna, Toastmaster Prasanna is A Sea Change. I could remember her when I first came in Toastmaster. First time I met with her only. And I could truly say that she is Sachin of our medley. She is all-rounder. Please join me in welcoming all-rounder Prasanna. Fill this stage with wave of sea. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hemant, for this wonderful introduction. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. One Friday evening, I returned back home from work. I walked up to my door and unlocked it. I stepped in to the sound of a deafening silence. The floor of the house was clear of any random objects. The things in the house remained at their rightful places. Amma, she pinched me. Amma, she didn't share her pencils with me. Amma, she broke my pencil box. These volley of complaints that usually welcome me when I enter home was not heard that day. My house was like a bustling town, suddenly robbed of its people. Few days later, one Sunday, I set off to Pondicherry along the East Coast Road. The sun's glimmering rays soon gathered heat into a searing heat. It being a Sunday morning, the city was still asleep. There was no familiar sound of people thronging everywhere like bees around a hive or the vehicles honking non-stop. The calm was strange, yet appreciated. As I travelled forth, the tall buildings transitioned to sturdy trees and open spaces. The sky was swathed in its signature color of blue, and the clouds created patterns of feathers and snow on this perfect backdrop. Soon, to give company to the blue sky, appeared the Bay of Bengal on my left. The sea played hide and seek with me. It suddenly disappeared behind a veil of trees, only to reappear again triumphantly. As I went forth, there was this bridge with an expanse of water on either side lapping up. Adorning the water was barren trees, partially submerged, and fishermen casting their net wide from their tiny boats. Soon, the sea wind knocked at my window panes. I lowered down the window glass to grant them entry. They engulfed me like a friend who waited long, and whispered the stories of the days gone. The tall palm trees stood on either side like a guard of honor welcoming us. I could see at a distance a miniaturized version of the Himalayan ranges. As I move near, I see well-demarcated square-shaped patches with piles of mounted pristine white salt from the seawater harvesting. Soon, villages appear with their scattered houses and children playing carefree by the roadside. The sea wind departs to make way to dust as the Pondicherry city welcomes me with its French-styled arch. As I enter the city, I see a huge banyan tree by a temple, which provides shelter to a crowd of people who have gathered there for a medical camp. Around the corner, there is my favorite roadside eatery shop selling jalebis, which are thin, crispy, hot, and juicy. The loudspeaker blares with a song of yesteryears. As if on cue, the Shivaji Ganeshan statue appears at the convergence point of 4 main roads, and I take the road on the right to reach my house. As I slowly climb up the steps to my house, I reminisce the day I packed the bags of my daughters and sent them off to my parents' place in Pondicherry for their summer vacation. Initially, I had my second thoughts. Will they be able to adjust to the strict rules prevalent in my parents' place? But still, I decided to go ahead and send them there. I reached the road and rang the bell, and the door was thrown open in seconds, and my daughters come running to me gleefully. I enter the house and am taken aback at the sea change I witnessed. My mother's meticulously maintained showcase items were strewn all over the floor. The spick and span walls had turned into a painting canvas with palm prints of various sizes and colors and artwork, pencil work, whatnots. My father, who always remains glued to his laptop, was seated on the floor trying to arrange a jigsaw puzzle. My daughters had not only adapted to the change, they had brought in a sea change in the tough fortress of my parents' place. Dear friends, in life we always have two situations. One situation is when change is thrust upon us, whether we like it or not. It can happen at our family life or in a career. And this change is also constantly changing, like the changing scenery which we see in a road trip. The other situation is we find ourselves in a place which is resistant to change. Not an item can be turned this side to that side. How do we manage these situations? Let us remember the child in us. Let us learn to embrace change when change is for betterment. Let us also challenge the status quo when we have the right reasons to do so, and leave no stone unturned until we see the sea change that we envisioned. Thank you. Over to you.
What quality of water inspires you most?
Water is very versatile. Versatile means like sometimes it can be very calm and placid like water in a lake. It can also be a tsunami and flood which can destroy cities. So we all also have the potential to be either calm or to go
to
back
be
with energy.
To be all rounder.
Yes.
Like you, Sachin.
Thank you.
Next, I am calling third evaluator, DTM Sundararaman, for reading the speech objective of head speaker. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and the guest. Today, distinguished Toastmaster Thomas Abraham is attempting his second DTM title. In this recording, he is supposed to deliver 2 speeches, one before attempting to take up a milestone project, and the second speech will be delivered after completing this project. And today is the purpose of his first speech is for the member to introduce his plan and vision. So all the best to DTM Thomas T Abraham. Over to you.
Our third speaker, DTM Thomas, his speech title is A Little Help, A Little Hope. After seeing him in Medley, I understood the level of Medley. One of the great mentors he is in our Medley club. For me, the easiest way to refer him is he is my mentor's mentor. So I call him like mentor's mentors. Fill this stage with your inspirational thoughts. Over to you, DTM.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you, TMoD, for the very flattering introduction. I don't deserve all of it. We'll decide what percentage. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and future Toastmasters.
Good afternoon.
I'm delivering the first speech as part of my DTM project. Privileged to do it in my club. A little help, a little hope. The burden of birth has always bothered me. Nowhere was it more explicit and hard-hitting than whenever I visited a rural school or Sevalaya, an NGO I've been associated for the last 12 years. The underprivileged children, their parents are mostly farm labor, told me that I owe them something. They were where they were because the teachers struggled hard to get them marks, 100% results. But at the gateway of higher education and job, they stood no chance. Their parents were different from our parents. So, I realized their share of what they should have got, I got, or I snatched, or I stole. With that guilt, I approached a problem that school was facing, driven by that guilt and equality that is fundamental. I decided to go in for YLP at Sevalaya. Quickly, YLP is a youth leadership program to mold youngsters into confident leaders and speakers. I would now share with you my plan. The basic decisions were clear to me. It had to be an in-person meeting because this is education by assimilation. You got to see flesh, blood, breath, and learn. These are rural children who haven't seen the world. I was clear that numbers should be small there because they don't know English and I don't know Tamil either. So how do we do it? So we limited it to 10 trainees of the 9th standard. I was clear that the best of the mentors will be mentoring them. And the cost to mentors, I was clear, it shouldn't cost them anything at all. They are giving their time and skill, we must neutralize their costs. Specifically, for me, it was 105 kilometers back and forth. And if I have to pick up a mentor on the way, it will cost me $1,000 a day. And there are 8 days, so I calculated my outgo to be $9,000 for transport. And yeah, so I said, I will sponsor it. With that, I was liberated. My entire body was gone. I was free to now plan everything the way I wanted. It's as if the government gave me the money and I was free to do the best. Medley would be the sponsor. Then came COVID, and the TMI, Toastmasters shop closed. Even God didn't know when it will open. Normally you say God knows when it will. No, even God didn't know. And then I had to act on 4 fronts. One was the school, the consumer. the customer. Second was the mentors, the resources. Third was the workbook. The workbook is the magic book that tells you what to do. Without that, nobody can, not even God can do anything. That book wasn't available because the stall, the shop was closed. Then I also realized, and then of course sponsors. That's Medley. School, I had to earn their trust. I had 3 years ago done a similar course for their top management and had earned their confidence. So they knew it would work. I had to get a guardian angel. Next, headmistress, who was now on the board. She is good in English. In a Tamil environment, we wanted somebody like that, and she came in to help me. Third, I wanted a small team of 2 English teachers to be the go-between for me, with the students. We could only discuss tentative dates because that workbook wasn't available. Nobody can do anything without the workbook. Mentors, the best in terms of empathy and expertise. Mrs. Jyoti Thomas, she's an expert in language learning. I sat with her, got all the details I required, how to do this transformation. First option was Medley volunteers. Only 2 rejections. 2 people could not join, but I got 3. And externally, having been a mentor at YLP and Speechcraft, and having put the petrol in my car tank with my own money, there were enough people who were willing to help me. So that externally, I got the best of talents. Again, tentative date. Workbook, without that nothing would be done. YLP, I realized, is an orphan in Toastmasters. Nobody knew anything about it. Believe me, you try, you will know what I'm talking about. School was putting pressure on me because before the exam started, they wanted me to finish this. So I did, in a vacuum, all my planning. I did the designs, everything, I kept it ready. 2 people helped me. Having done this, N.T. Ramarao, and not the film star, a real star, and Arun Kumar, they have done this, so they gave me all the help, all the information, but nobody knew what would be the financial implications. Desperate calls, Satish Menon said, yes, I have the books. But that was on 8th or 6th of December. I was saying, But it took 20 days for me to get the books from him because he was in constant travel. With the books made available, the tentative date became a real date of 7th January. A new year. What a way to greet a new year. That was, great time for me. So we were ready to launch YLP, Medley Toastmasters, YLP at Sevalaya School, Kasuva, a rural, far off place from here, from the city. And we got ready for the first meeting with Toastmaster Renu as the first of the educational speakers as a storyteller. So this way, we got ready to render a little help for a little hope for those young girls and boys who otherwise didn't have much to dream for in life. This is the first part of how we planned it. I'll be back with you with my report of what happened thereafter. Thank you for your patience.
Sir. After listening to this thing, be like water. What comes in your mind first time?
My memory some 35 years ago comes to my mind. I once visualized, part of my job, a calendar, a wall calendar on the theme of water. You can imagine, this session I conducted in my mind. What are the meanings of water? What I like most is, without water, there is no life. Somebody said that. So I did 6 calendar, and we did the photography. So where there is no water, there is no life. We captured it in Jaisalmer, the desert. We tied up local girls, the village Pramuk's daughters, to carry all that. But that day, the girls became shy. They wouldn't come. What do? We spent all the money we got there. So we got 2 of our boys to dress up as girls, and we did this. And it won us a calendar, won us an award all India. Not for ingenuity, jugaad, but actually for the birth of it.
Thank you. What a wonderful session we had. It's like calm, everyone was giving their prepared speech, like the laminar flow. Now we are moving to turbulent flow. This next session is our table topic. In this session, I am calling Toastmaster Pravda. She is professor and HOD in Satyabhama Medical College. She is wonderful person and mostly she is also like water, very gentle and very calm. She is one of the dog lover and I deeply love that speech in which she talked about dogs. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Toastmaster Pravda. Now this stage is yours for your thunderous session. Toastmaster sir. Table topic session.
Fellow Toastmasters, guests and my dear friends, a very good evening to one and all.
Good evening.
Welcome you all to the interesting part of the Toastmaster meeting, the table topic session. I will be calling some of the Toastmasters and guests here and give an opportunity to speak for a minute or two. This Toastmaster table topic session is specifically designed to improve the integral part of our communication skill, like listening, thinking, assimilating as said by our grammarian, then organizing and then speaking. So as the table topic master of today, I have slightly deviated from the mundane way of conducting a Toastmaster table topic session, and I will be calling the Toastmasters who do not generally play a specific role in today's meeting and some of the guests. And instead of asking a verbal question, I will be focusing and showing a photograph. Photograph has a universal language that anybody can understand. So whenever you come across a photograph or a picture, you may have a story to tell, or you may have an information to share, or you may have an incident to narrate, or it will take you to a nostalgic memory. So this is the platform to share that. So to kickstart this table topic session, the only criterion is you have to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and not more than 2.5 minutes to qualify yourself to be a best table topic speaker. And I also request you to use the word of the day, assimilate liberally when you speak as a table topic speaker. So the table topic session will be started by one of our senior Toastmaster Venkateshan. Welcome. So I request you to choose one number between 1 to 12, and once you select a number, you will have a photograph, and just visualize the photograph and speak whatever you feel for a minute or two.
Number 12.
Number 12.
I disagree with the saying there. For fact selection, everybody has to take the same example, is climb the tree. Elephant cannot climb the tree. Monkey can climb a tree at any level, at any cost. That fish cannot climb. Fish can swim only in the water. That is why I disagree with that. For this, yesterday in my office, our colleagues, 3 of us were discussing about the World Trademark Review Conference. And then we have decided to go for lunch. We had a lunch at Hotel Leetham, vegetarian, meals only. On the way coming back to the counter, as a senior person, I took the bill from the waiter and I paid that amount, 630 rupees. And we went by a car. One of my colleagues was asking that, "Sir, did you check the bill?" I said, I checked the bill, I paid 630. And he was calculating. The amount is 130 rupees. 3 persons only we had lunch. But 630 is too much. And he saw the bill from the car. And he said that, take a car in U-turn and convince the cashier. Because in the bill, they said that 3 customers and lunch is 3, 1 quick lunch. The waiter, unfortunately, he made mistake. And he put that extra quick lunch in my bill. When I showed to the cashier, immediately he called the manager. The manager name is Mr. Sridhar. He was blasting that waiter. I said, mistake is on my part also. I never check when I am paying through the card. That is why you are not supposed to impose any fine for this. Because he was claiming that fine should teach a lesson for the employee. Like that, we should not change our character. We should be always honest. I would like to conclude my speech.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your information about how you face the challenge. And this is the present scenario of the education system. And as a teacher for more than 15 years, I understand the flaw in this, but still we have to go with the flow. So for the next speaker, I would like to call Toastmaster Tarun. Please select your number.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. We are going to start a startup company in coming 14th. So out of this last 2 years, we are struggling to build this company and we are having a lot of struggles. Out of all this process, we found out that finding the imperfection and creating the balance and building the company out of is the magic for any startup. So if you start to always look for perfect people, perfect plan and everything, the startup will not work out. So finding the imperfection, how to imbibe with the entire system and then creating that structure to build the better company out of it, better people, creating better people out of it and creating a great product out of the company is what I understood from this tables. Out of imperfection, you give the greatness to the society where you can create a positive impact in people's life. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tarun. Thank you for sharing your ideas for balancing your firm. And this is a balancing stone where you stake all the stones and this is a type, it is also known as what is called? It is also known as the gravity art, where it is the stones balance only with the gravity, and it is a type of meditation where it improves the mental health of a person. So the next speaker is our guest Balasubramanian.
Number 7.
Life. Is it okay? Life is a game of chess. We are all pawns in the game of chess. When I say pawns, it doesn't mean we are helpless. It's just that events are so random that you can't plan and succeed in life. If somebody says I am success because I planned for it, either they are ignorant or they are bluffing. We are all, believe me, our only job is to look around the world, assimilate the wisdom within, and shape our behavior as the circumstances evolve. Now, if you say this is pawn, sorry, this is not pawn. A pawn is called a pawn because it's shaped like that. A pawn could be a king, depending on the verdict. So, ladies and gentlemen, life is not a pound cake. It's how you play the life. Life is a challenge. Meet it. Life is a game. Play it. And I don't think there are shortcuts. Like chess, we must always strategize. You take the first step, situation may be, and the response may be different. You look at what others do. You look at what, let's say you are in a business, look at what competing firms do. So you need to constantly strategize and move forward. And again, ladies and gentlemen, the issue is not whether you are better than someone, but are you better than what you were yesterday? Like she always says, I just quote her, your yesterday should be jealous of today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that inspirational talk. And the next speaker will be Toastmaster Guruprasad.
And my dear guests, looking at this picture, what I come to my mind here is love. So love is something, it cannot be made. What you give, you get it. If you deserve for it, you have to be open and you have to ready to give to others, and you will definitely get it back. Even with the pets or your, being who was around you, your friends, your family, anybody else, anybody who is considered as. Be love with other people. Whatever you do, if you do a work, you love and do a work, you don't need to work. You can enjoy your work. If you are playing and you start love the play, then you don't need to dedicate a time for playing or allocating a time. So you are tempted to play. Whatever you love, you are doing with your passion, your enthusiasm all together. Exactly. Now, when you ask me what is the most love, what you do, at present today, the love what I do, I'm giving back to the society, what society gave back to me with so much love and passion towards me. I'm helping people, I'm going to the places where I can help. As like DTM Thomas said, if there is a hope, if there is a will, then there is a way. That's the thing I can learn from here, I can resonate. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Guruprasad. You rightly said that what we give the society gives us back. And as far as this picture is concerned, this dictates that the best love is the unconditional love that we receive from our pets. So the next speaker is our guest, Smriti. Please choose a number. 4 is not.
Lucky number.
So, hi. So, saying Taj Mahal, I remember it is an incident which happened in my life. It was my journey where I went to Delhi with my parents. I was actually in class 6. So, it was a beautiful journey. So, like starting from home, we went to, sorry. So starting from home, we went to airport, and I think that was my first flight experience. It was really nice, looking at the clouds through the window. And then after reaching Delhi, it is when I realized that Taj Mahal was actually not in Delhi, it is in Uttar Pradesh. So, and then in class 4, 5 and all, we used to have this SST period, and we used to read about Taj Mahal. And the main thing I remember about Taj Mahal is the acid rain. So I was actually scared that there might be an acid rain when we were in Taj Mahal, but unfortunately there wasn't. And generally in Taj Mahal, I remember people take the photos like this in Taj Mahal, so I remember taking a picture there. So that was a memorable experience for me. Thank you.
Thank you, guest Smriti, for sharing your thoughts about this astonishing beauty of Taj Mahal. Once the former President Clinton has said that there are only 2 kinds of people in the world. One, those who have seen Taj Mahal and loved it, and the others are those who have not seen Taj Mahal and loved it. So the next speaker is Toastmaster Tarun.
I can say that we should not lose the child in ourselves. Whatever the age may be, I'm not too old to talk about this, but I'm saying the child inside you, for me, the child inside you is which makes you happy every time. You have to enjoy what you do like a child, whatever the age may be. The childishness has to be always with you, so that I don't know. I'm not in that age to say, but I've heard that you'll have a lot of pressures and you'll be having a lot of works. So that to be a stress buster, you have to be playful and stuff have to be playful. Being like a child, running, playing in these kind of stuff. I don't know in that age whether I can do those or not. So yeah, and I can put.
Rightly got it. As a man ages, he becomes a child, and we have to act accordingly. The next speaker will be guest Jay Anand. You would like to take it? Come. Please choose the number. 4 is chosen. 2, 3, 5, 11, 10. I will take.
Good evening, friends and fellow Toastmasters. And
Good evening.
this picture resembles about our today's topic, how water is important in our life. And as we all say, this is a river image, and this is a place where we like to go every time and where we get peace, and we will get relaxed, and we will follow the nature, or it's fine.
No problem, go ahead. Okay, go ahead, you're going the right speed.
We have this picture resembles that the love of nature or with nature should resemble each and every time, and with the human. And as we destroy nature in the name of city life, or when we talk that we should conserve nature, we should conserve water, and we should conserve their lives, which are the most important, and as well as naturalistic elements which the God has given. And it's more or less a very important component, and which creates a peaceful environment. And more or less, next one is peaceful environment, which is very what I can say is, this is the place where everyone as like we should compare life that like water flows, how far it flows, we should flow like a river or a pond, or we should live a life where water flows continuously. We should not think about the struggles that we face, or struggles that we face in our day-to-day life. We should run according to their life proceeds, and we should proceed their life as a flowing of water. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay Anand, for sharing your ideas about the beauty of nature and our theme. The next speaker is Toastmaster Shanuli.
this is happening nowadays in all our home. Wherever, if you travel in the train also, we can see people are together, but they are isolated due to this one only. Whether it is by laptop or by this mobile, it is isolating us. If I say I am from some village side, 20 years back, we don't have such type of facilities. We people sit together and we will talk in the night up to 10:30 or even 12 o'clock also. After that we will go to our home, we will get sleep, very good sleep. Nowadays, in my home also, if I go, even in the bedtime also, they are seeing WhatsApp. In that way, our family relation also, it reduces. If it is any problem, it cannot be solved. If we avoid this one, we can discuss those problems, we can come to that remedy. Due to that, most of the problem is arising every house. Mostly in my house, if I say. Not only that, it helps also the mobile, but mostly it affects in our day-to-day life. This is the thing one has to avoid. We have to use this mobile or that laptop facility for the better thing. We should not use for chatting, other type of things. In that way, we are wasting our times. We have to utilize our time properly. For that, we have to avoid such type of activity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, and well said. Such a situation prevails in my family also sometimes. That's why I put this
That's for us, sir.
And last speaker of the DT will be Guest Balakrishna.
Get together. So, if in any forest, the animals, I think I can see the family of tigers, right? So, it's important to be together. So, instead of spending life separately, I think it's important to have a close life with all our friends and family members, and discussing our personal issues and sharing our thoughts. It's always good to have a close-knit family instead of spending time alone. So this is what the picture depicts, and I also strongly hope that we have to be together. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing the most positive aspect of this picture photograph. And this photograph was taken by me on this day. I realized that every living organism had to struggle for their life. And because I visualized the hunt of 5 cheetahs, and they were so patient and struggled so much to hunt one among the hundreds of animals of their prey. And so life is not easy. Thank you. I just thought that somebody will have a different story on this. Thank you for the opportunity. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you for this wonderful session. So, timer, can you please state all the speakers are qualified or not?
Qualified speakers are Toastmaster Suhail and Toastmaster Prasanna.
Please, all of you can vote for these speakers. And timer, can you please also state means who are the table topic persons who are qualified or not?
In table topics, speakers, Toastmaster Venkatesan, Guest Balasubramaniam, Toastmaster Kumaresan, Guest Smriti, Guest Jay Anand, Toastmaster Shanmugave are qualified speakers.
Thank you, timer. Please, all of you can vote for these Toastmasters and guests.
So, who are the qualified speakers, project speakers?
Project speakers are 2.
Toastmaster Rajesh, Toastmaster Suhail and Toastmaster Prasanna.
The browser is showing all the 3 names.
Okay.
You have to remove one name, it should be only one.
Okay. In my childhood, I was coming to my home always very sad. And it was because of the pressure which school gave. And I was really tired with these things. I had to go do homework and all of these things. I was really tired by these things. And one day, I was very happy. Any of you guys think of why I was happy?
It was raining heavily.
No.
Holiday?
No? Yeah, holiday. So my holiday was about to start. My vacations are about to start. And I came to my house and I was really enjoyed, like I don't have to go to school, I don't have to do nothing. The end of homework, the end of school and the end of everything. Now I will enjoy my life and live my life with pleasure. Inevitably, that day was really the happiest day for me. And today also I can remember that day, that how happy I was. But this happiness didn't last for longer. My mother asked me, why you are so happy? You are not so happy every day. I told her the essence of my happiness. And she said, because of this you are happy? And she converted my happiness totally into saddest thing. I was very sad after that. Why she scolded me? It's like my holidays are about to start and she scolded me like anything. She doesn't love me actually. But after everything got calmed, then finally she said, Hemant, you should be like water. You should be like water, always moving, always learning. There is no ending for learning. You should be like water. That's why when I come to Toastmaster, I think of keep coming and keep learning. That's my motivation for you guys also. Now, we are moving towards evaluation session. And this session, you can also refer as the characterization session or flow characterization session, which is led by my good friend Rajesh Sahoo, who will in some time give me the subscription of Disney. Thank you.
Good evening once again. Now we are going to enter into the evaluation session. So for evaluating speaker 1, that is Toastmaster Suhail, I will be calling upon the evaluator, who is a mechanical engineer working for oil and gas sector as a subject matter expert. He is a distinguished Toastmaster. He is a passionate and proficient public speaker and a communication trainer. He is a guru of humor. He is representing Medley in Area C3 and Division C in District 120 finals. Please put your hands together to welcome DTM Dinakaran.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Dear Toastmasters and my dear speaker Suhail, good afternoon to all of you. There are statistics that says our mind goes through around 70,000 to 80,000 thoughts per day. Have you ever heard this statistics? If no, don't worry, that is correct. But do we spend our time to recognize or realize all those 70,000 and take action on them? No. It narrows down to a very few and then we do something on those thoughts. One of those somethings is to convey that thought to a person, a group or an audience in the form of a speech. And Toastmasters realizes this very well, and that is why one of the beginning level projects in those CC days and even now I believe is about organizing your speech and delivering a speech with a purpose. Toastmaster Suhail has done that project today to learn and review how to converge his thoughts or some key thoughts and convert them into a speech and deliver it to an audience with a purpose. let us see how did it happen in today's speech. Well, I believe your purpose in today's speech is about breaking mental barriers, or to quote your exact words, breaking self-limiting beliefs. Yeah, a good thought. You identified a good context to explain to us, and you started with a good example of Olympics that happened in maybe earlier part of last century, but that was a good example in how people started breaking the barriers of their previous ones. Then you brought in your own self story, or your story of where you had a challenge and how you broke it. Till then everything was going fine. I'm going to be very critical because these two speeches of organizing your speech and delivering a speech with a purpose is where you get turned into a public speaker from a normal human being. You and me can talk a lot of things over a cup of coffee after this meeting. You can tell me all your stories in whatever way you like. When you're on a stage, you're delivering something, we expect you to deliver things in such and such a way that we absorb, assimilate the points delivered by you, so that we take away something when we leave this hall. That is some challenge. So firstly, the story was not at all complete. The Toastmasters manual itself has guided you about various ways of preparing your speech, spatial, chronological, particular, general, or many other ways. You did not maybe go through it and prepare it properly. It even has a small section in the manual. If you had filled up all those sections, your speech would have been ready. You had one example, one Olympic story, then suddenly the speech ended. Secondly, your use of stage was not very helpful. He was moving the table again and again. You are again and going and hitting the table. So please understand your stage, understand the purpose you are going to deliver, then your message will reach us very well. Over to you, Sundararaman.
Yes. Okay. From TMoD, continuing. Briefly explain what quality of water inspires you the most.
Yes, for me, water means responsibility. Wondering? I was the Flat Association secretary for quite some few years, and Chennai has a sine curve with respect to water. You either get too much or too little. So we learned newer ways of conserving water whenever we had drought. I brought in some ideas of arranging lorries and managing stuff. Then the next secretary who came in, he found out a different way of doing this. The following secretary, he found a new way. We were very creative and we were very responsible in making sure all the 20 residents were getting water without fail. So it taught us a lot of leadership lessons. Just one lorry of water taught all of us a lot of leadership lessons. So I recognize water to responsibility.
Now to evaluate the second speech, the speech of the second speaker, Prasanna, sorry, sitting here. Okay. So I had did a lot of research on the second evaluator, DTM Sampath, but unfortunately he did not come. So I had to impromptu do some research on Toastmaster Ranga. So to introduce himself, he is the past president of this club. Train travel, fascinates him. He used to love, traveling in the train. He loves the mundane work of ironing clothes, which is a space, for introspection for him. So let's, put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Rangarajan.
Let's put our hands together for TM Prasanna for taking us on a wonderful journey. The journey was short, probably about 200 kilometers from Chennai to Pondicherry, but it was very vivid. She put in verbs, adverbs, adjectives, mixed them, and we got a fantastic avial. Medley. We got a fantastic medley. So, was the story engaging? She started off by saying that she went into a home and there was abject silence. And then we got engrossed in it. What was she trying to say? because we all know that she has 2 children. And then the story started. It went all the way to Pondicherry, and she described the journey so vividly. It looked as though we were traveling along with her. And when she was talking about the sea, and then she was talking about the palm trees, the imagery was just too good. And then she reached Pondicherry, and she saw there the bustle, the hustle and the bustle of what she would have experienced in her own home. The walls were painted. I don't know whether her parents allowed her to do that on the walls, but the grandchildren, they are special. They are always special. They get away with everything. And maybe there was a tinge of sadness. Hey, I wasn't permitted to do this. And how did she resolve this? The story. It meandered well, and then she came to the story, and she tried to resolve it in a way that was perfect. But there were a few things that I felt she could have done better. The usage of the stage. She was more intent on delivering the speech, but she could have used the stage effectively. She could have moved from, and she could have been a little bit more, she could have been more evocative in trying to express the feelings when she went to a black home, and then she saw the children. So to sum up, the imagery, whatever was the project objective, she did it perfectly well. But she could have used the stage better and could have used a little bit of motion. Sure.
And talk something, briefly about what qualities of water inspires you the most.
Well, it's the elixir of life. We have 70% water in us. And it's very evident when you go. For me, whenever I feel troubled or disturbed, I go to the beach. And there, just sitting and watching the waves do its thing. It doesn't wait for anybody. It just comes to the shore and goes back and again comes. So I think we should just gather enough courage within ourselves whenever we feel a little bit down, to see that if we keep doing the things repeatedly again and again, you will find a solace within you.
Next, to evaluate the speech of DTM Thomas, I am going to invite the third evaluator. So he is a business storyteller. He is a trainer and workshop facilitator. He is a keynote speaker. He is a domain consultant with 40 years industry experience in petroleum, refinery, oil and gas. And he is an author of the book Raga Chintamani. Please put your hands together to welcome DTM.
General Evaluator, Toastmasters. How many of you can see without opening your eyes? No one. But there are some people who can see without opening their eyes, because they have absolute clarity in what they plan to do. The absolute clarity comes with plan and vision. That was demonstrated by DTM Thomas Abraham today in his DTM speech number 1, where he was showcasing the assimilated way of integrating the leadership skill and communication skill. So what I liked in his speech was, he has not taken this project for the sake of completing his second DTM. It is all for doing or contributing back to the society. So that was very much evident. He was not in a position to get something reimbursed for his own journey or any of your committee members. And he has chosen a place. It was remote, up and down, more than 100 kilometers he has to travel, but still he has taken this job or offering this youth leadership program for the school children. Fantastic job. I think he deserves a big round of applause for it. In terms of delivering this project, DTM Thomas, I have a lot of critical comments. Number one, the way of handling the slide, it was not professional. So either you could have used a slide changer, or you could have asked one of our volunteers who would have agreed to operate this slide. Or probably you could have restricted with one single slide the 4 aspects you have mentioned, the school, mentor, the book, etc. One single slide would have been enough to address, so that you will be able to connect with the audience, because most of the time you are totally engaged with the operating your laptop. So that way I was, as an audience, as an evaluator, I was not comfortable when you are not comfortable on the stage. Number 2, so I think you already mentioned that many times visuals play a powerful role when the speaker is on stage. Instead of so much of text, you could have used visuals. That is number 2. Third one was your opening could have been a little more attention grabbing, asking a powerful question or starting with the startling statistics, like how many children are not privileged to get education, etc. You could have done that to grab the attention of the audience. And the fourth and important thing is this project you started in Jan 2023, but you are delivering it in May as the speech number 1. Probably you could have come out with a disclaimer saying that I should have done this project in December before starting this project, because many of them may take this as an example. So people tend to take a DTM project or HPL project in retrospection. Actually, before they kickstart the project, they are supposed to deliver this project. Your one disclaimer would have helped the audience to understand that. But I thoroughly appreciate the sentiment and your empathy towards the underprivileged children, and for that I have to congratulate you for taking this project, and I am looking forward to your second speech. Over to General Evaluator.
Same question. I'm going to briefly what qualitative part is first the most.
Okay, so being a chemical engineer and being a refinery engineer for so long, I want to talk about the technical aspect of water. 1 liter of water expands to 1,700 liters of steam. So because of that property, water is universally used as a fire extinguisher. So imagine if water does not have this property. So if you put 1 liter, immediately 1,700 liters of water, and so much of latent heat will be absorbed from the fire, and the fire will be put out. So imagine if water is not having this property, how can do the firefighting? So this I always remember as the peculiar property of water. Thank you.
Timer, can you please tell who are the qualified evaluators?
Evaluators all are qualified. DTM Guruprasad sir, Toastmaster Ranga, DTM Sundararaman sir, all are qualified.
Audience, please vote. For your
ask people to share the QR code.
Yeah, please vote for your favorite evaluator. So now we'll move on to the quantitative report, which is our tag teams report. So for delivering the tag teams detailed report, I am going to invite timer Anuradha on the stage to deliver a detailed report.
Starting from Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Tarun, he took 1 minute. Then Presidential Address by Toastmaster Dinakaran, he took 7 minutes 30 seconds. TMoD, Toastmaster Hemant, for his first part, he took 4 minutes 55 seconds out of 8 minutes. Then GE, Toastmaster Rajesh, he took 7 minutes out of 8 minutes. Then coming to the speech, Speaker 1, Toastmaster Suhail, he took 5 minutes 50 seconds. Then Toastmaster Prasanna Vani, she took 6 minutes 5 seconds. DTM Thomas sir, he took 7 minutes 35 seconds. Then TT session was on time, she utilized 25 minutes. And among the TT speakers, Toastmaster Venkateshan, he took 2 minutes 2 seconds. Guest Balasubramaniam, he took 1 minute 44 seconds. Toastmaster Kumareshan, he took 1 minute 18 seconds. Guest Smriti, she took 1 minute 19 seconds. Toastmaster Dharan, he took 57 seconds. Toastmaster Tarun, he took 56 seconds. Guest Jay Anand, he took 2 minutes 29 seconds. Toastmaster Shanmugavel, he took 1 minute 48 seconds. Guest Balakrishnan, he took 52 seconds. Then coming to the TMoD second speech, out of 4 minutes, he took 2 minutes 14 seconds. And coming to evaluation, DTM Guruprasad sir, he took 3 minutes 16 seconds. Toastmaster Ranga, he took 3 minutes 28 seconds. DTM Sundararaman sir, he took 3 minutes. With this, I'll end my report.
Thank you, Timer Anuradha, for this detailed report. Thank you so much. Okay. Now to
No water question for you.
please come back.
Okay, I'll tell. For me, the one concept I like from water is it will take up the shape of the vessel where it is poured. Whether it's a tumbler or mug or bucket, it will take the shape. Like that, I also want to be like a water. Wherever I go, I'll try to adapt myself and I'll do my best to that.
Thank you. I was expecting a physiologist kind of answer. Okay, all right. So for delivering the R-counter report, I am going to invite Toastmaster Kausalya to deliver our detailed report.
I was so engrossed in TM Suhail and TM Prasanna Vani speech. It was perfect. There was nothing sound or any overused words. My mind automatically assimilated to the situation and the scenery she explained. So there was problem with the laptop and DTM Thomas sir was speaking, so I was able to note down to ask and for so, then also twice. And TM Venkateshan has used the word and 4 times. TM Dharan has used so twice. And guest Smriti has used are thrice and twice and I mean once. And guest Balakrishnan so 4 times and 2 times. TM Shanmugavel used sound 4 times.
Water. Talk about water.
I think everybody has spoke about the quality of water. I'll talk about the quantity. See, we all use RO in our house. To fill up 1 liter of water, RO water, 2 liter is getting wasted.
Correct.
So let's just store it somewhere. We usually give the connection to the sink, the exit pipe to the sink. So if we store it, and we can use it for washing our hands or washing the vegetables or something, so we can conserve water. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kausalya, for this counter report. Now I would like to invite Grammarian Pravina Sriram on the stage to deliver.
The word assimilate was used 6 times. There was one missed opportunity by one of the speakers where she had mentioned not only did they not adapt to the situation, instead you could have said, my children could assimilate to the new situation. So I guess it takes some time for us to assimilate to a new word and get comfortable. As for my role as a grammarian, I actually gave 1/2 of the page for good usage and the other half for improvements, but I was crammed for space for good usage. Such was the wonderful usage of each and every member over here. I think I'll take too much of time if I have to go through each and every good usage of each and every member. So I will just pick a few and random and mention it. So first let me start with the improvements because those are very few and negligible. One of the Toastmasters had mentioned which are the club members. Instead it should be who are the club members. I will keep on showing the red card. Instead it could have been I'll continue to show the red card. This record was holded for a long time. The better usage would be this record was held for a long time. I don't have to do nothing. Instead it is I don't have to do anything. And as for the good usage, adapt to change, neither created nor destroyed. And I liked Toastmaster Pravda using criterion because not many of us know the difference between a singular and a plural form of the word. So criterion is singular and criteria is plural. Introspection, converge the thoughts and convert to a speech. We are pawns like in the game of chess. Burden of birth, flabbergasted. The power of subconscious mind, which is a book, of course, that was mentioned. Time and tide, wait for none. So these are some of the just snippets that I have mentioned. Thank you so much. As for water, I was wondering, so many people had said so much about water. What am I going to say? Thankfully, Toastmaster Kaushalya started with the quantity part. So I would just like to say that, thankfully our outlet is not fitted to the sink pipe. Instead, what we do is we collect it and use it for mopping and for various other purposes. So we try our level best not to waste that water, but of course a lot of RO water is used in flats these days because we don't get metro water collection. So it is a big disaster actually, so something needs to be done about it. So all of us should be a bit more conscious about how we use water and not waste it. Thank you so much.
So with this, we complete the evaluation section along with that, tag teams report. Now a timer so please vote for your favorite tag role player. Timer Anuradha, our counter Kausalya, and Grammarian Pravina. I'll give some 10 seconds to vote. Okay, so now we'll come to my report, that is the general evaluators report. The room and equipment all were set up on time. Guests were welcomed properly by the presiding officer. The presiding officer's speech was also prepared and organized. Meeting started on time. Everybody, all the guests were properly introduced, which I told already. Toastmaster of the day was properly introduced by the presiding officer. In turn, Toastmaster of the day had introduced the GE properly. All the roles were filled up prior to the meeting well ahead. So kudos to our VP Education, Toastmaster, Venkat session. Theme of the meeting was very nice. It was easy and everybody could speak about it. So kudos to you.
Did you say your opinion about water? Did you ask the question?
Yes.
Yes, we want to know that. What is your opinion about it?
Tag team report was given properly. I would appreciate the timer to take note of all the section of the meeting, recording the timing meticulously. Grammarian report was properly delivered. Word of the day was very nice, and most of us could utilize the word of the day in their speeches. Table topic session was good, and our TTM Master Pravda has utilized the time properly. She has consumed all the 20-25 minutes allotted to her, so which is good. And the topics were selected appropriately as per the theme, so it is those are assimilated well. She has called upon the speakers based on the experience, and all the non-role players were given a chance to speak on the stage, and the control was properly returned back to the TMoD. That was good. On the recommendation part, I would just say a couple of things. which is more related to the sergeant at arms. Probably the sergeant at arms has to be there in the meeting before start of the meeting. So we used to have different essay in all the meetings. So rather we require the essay to be part of the meeting before, and try to set up the equipment, laptops, and somebody to volunteer as DTM Thomas struggle to handle the laptop. So somebody either set it up prior to the meeting so that a speaker can concentrate on speaking only, not handling the machines. And voting ballots also should have been distributed earlier, so that was being disturbance in the middle of the meeting. So these are the couple of things which I would recommend as part of the whole scanning of the proceedings of the meeting. So with this I complete my general evaluation session, and I hand over the session to you.
Please, all of you vote for the best speaker, best time role player, and all this. With this, I am giving my speech to President.
Good evening, everyone. Did you all enjoy the meeting?
Yes.
Okay. We had a wonderful meeting. Let's have a round of applause for all the role players. Special thanks to Toastmaster Prasanna Vani for filling in this VP education role for this week since Rangarajan was traveling. Thank you so much. And it was a wonderful meeting today. I had a lot of learnings. Proposed speeches, it was about the message of we are all limitless, we are just limited by our thoughts and our mind. And one speech or one project about giving back to the society. And one other project is about how a simple travel can be converted into a wonderful speech with the descriptive language usage. So it was all prepared, wonderfully prepared speeches. And the TT session, it was a different one, like with the, instead of giving the topic, giving the images. I think it helped the members and guests to speak and then emote well. So it was a good thought. Thanks to Toastmaster Prasanna Vani for this different TT session. And wonderful role players contributed well, and then all the reports were prepared well and presented well. I would like to hear the feedback from the guests also. So anybody would like to volunteer first? So how was the meeting? What's your feedback?
This is the very first meeting for me, and it was very good actually. I learned a lot from all the speakers, and it was a really good experience, and I would like to come again and learn more. Thank you.
So this is the fourth week we are coming as a family. Unfortunately, my daughter have exams and we picked her, so we came a bit late. So definitely we want to join if possible today. She would be enrolled into the Toastmasters. The experience I have from here is totally different from what I experienced in my office Toastmasters, where it's a struggle to get 10 people in the floor, and half of them will be remote. Because of the new news about COVID situation, we said don't force anyone to come to office. So this is a wonderful experience, and I come here primarily because I want to stand in front of so many people. So thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. It's good to see that you're coming with your family regularly and then attending here. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you. Smriti, would you like to come and give back?
So this was my first Toastmaster meeting, and I actually really enjoyed. I could observe myself that I could listen a little bit, because generally I don't listen as much. But this time I paid attention. I listened to everybody's speeches, and it was really nice. Thank you so much.
Ma'am.
today the speeches was really fantastic, especially Prasanna Vani's speech. It really made me to travel to Pondicherry from here. It was really good, and hope I will become a part of this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good evening to one and all once again, and it's a quite good experience as I'm attending my second meeting continuously, and I'm learning more skills and lessons apart from my communicative skills in various aspects, and it creates a positive vibration in and around, and I will be possibly available in the upcoming meetings. Thank you.
Would you like to come? Thanks for being here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sissy. This is my fourth session in Toastmasters, and what I felt is after coming, Toastmasters will give us the skills and confidence to express ourselves effectively at any situation. That is what I must tell about Toastmasters. And no matter what the ability of a person is or the confidence level, it gives Toastmasters gives every members equal opportunity to realize their full potential. That is what, and everyone is so compassionate and encouraging, and we don't feel like being judged by everyone. That fear won't be there. That and all this. So it's very positive vibe is there in this atmosphere. Thank you.
Join us soon.
Thank you so much. I think like to come as a family, you have to do a lot of planning and some sacrifice. So thanks for doing that. Thank you so much. Yeah. Would you also like to come? I forgot your name. Yeah.
So this is my fourth week at Toastmasters, and previously, like 2-3 weeks ago, I remember not telling my exam timing because I didn't want to come at Toastmasters. But this time I insisted them to come here as soon as possible, and I love this place a lot. I hope Toastmasters will have a indelible contribution in my career. And ma'am, I loved your speech, and the flow. I literally traveled like ma'am said, and thank you so much.
She can hear difference between previous to Medley. Today, what is it?
Impromptu topic.
You want to know how different this place is compared to what? Okay.
Medley, what is the difference?
To be very frank, all Toastmaster clubs are special. So I never want to say one is better than the other. That I don't think I'll be doing the right thing, because whatever I am now is because of my first club, which will always remain special to me. But that doesn't mean this is going to be any less for me. I already feel the vibes wonderfully. Maybe I have all the qualities of a politician very soon, probably. Or maybe that's what Toastmasters is doing to me, to be very polished, to give the sandwich approach to anything in life. But there was one issue in Middle East, probably because the population is less. there were too many clubs coming up. So what happened was the quality started reducing. The very few members that were there in the Middle East got distributed to too many clubs, and each club was having only around 5 to 10 people in a session. For a very long time, I think for 3 to 4 years, the club that I used to go to, I was always with one club. I never switched clubs because that was one trend that was happening in the Middle East. People were switching from one club to another. But I felt I have to stay in the same club that nurtured me. And we were forced to take roles every single week. Probably that was a blessing in disguise because it gave me a lot of opportunities because there was no other way out. At one point in time, it was more of ladies, and ladies were taking up roles. So we had to support the other ladies there. You know, we just could not let them down. Probably those last 3 to 4 years was when it really molded me because I had to back my ladies out there who were really brave in those trying situations. They were doing all that they could do. And it's sad even now when I go once in a way to the online session when they call, there are a very few people who turn up, unlike over here when there are so many people, because this is how it was initially when I started there. So I just hope that trend doesn't come here, because I think here for Adayar, Thiruvanmiyur and for quite a good stretch, this is the only club. Maybe, you know, we concentrate more on quality than quantity. I think that will really help. So, you know, now we are having a lot of people here. As we keep having more and more clubs coming, again we'll start having fewer people coming. It will be more of quantity and less of quality. So maybe that is one thing which we have to keep in mind when we have Toastmasters programs everywhere and try to increase the clubs. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Thank you.
I just also wanted to call on these two important points given by the Toastmasters. One is that we get 1,700 liter of steam from 1 liter of water, and we waste 2 liter of water to get 1 liter of RO water. So two important learnings, so I felt. Okay. With that, we'll go to the best performance for the day. Best player Toastmaster Praveena. So our photographer got a new iPhone for that.
Yes.
Okay. Best float player Toastmaster Pravda. TT speaker Best Box Award. Best Java Vendor DTM Thomas. I think with this, I come to the end of the meeting. The sound of the gavel, I declare the meeting adjourned.